Welcome back to episode 10 of the Minecraft Survival series. Last episode, we got full netherite gear, including backup tools plus 4 smithing templates to spare, and with the help of these guys, we managed to get the best enchants in the game. I don't know why they've still got their backs to me. It's really rude, guys. Really rude. Hello? You will look at me when I'm talking to you. It had meant a lot of time was spent here at the bottom of the nether searching for ancient debris. Or I should specify the nether in general, because we were searching a long time for a bastion such as this one for the smithing template, because I forgot netherite ingots are no longer enough and you need smithing templates now to upgrade diamond gear to netherite gear. Unfortunately, this one didn't have the smithing template. We had to find another one. Yeah, it's a bit of a long story and I don't really want to go into it. What I did manage to find were fortresses like this, about half a dozen of the things, and that's not even exaggerating. Because of that, I picked up a ton of blaze rods. I mean, I have looting 3 on my sword, so it's of no surprise. And what should we do with so many blaze rods? Well, first, we should pay a visit to the clerics, where we can pick up some tasty ender pearls. We're going to pick up 24 of the things before putting the blaze rods to work, or only some of them, because if we used all of them, it would be complete overkill. And using a combination of both ender pearl and blaze powder, we can get 16 eyes of ender, plus an additional 8. So I don't know why I just didn't say 24 eyes of ender. Lovely. Also, don't you think it's weird you can stack eyes of ender up to 64, but ender pearls are only 16? Don't know why that is. Eyes of ender are also makeshift trackers, and using them, by throwing them, we can find which way the end portal lies. And it looks like it's this way. Now, don't get me wrong, 24 eyes of ender are complete overkill. However, they're used to craft ender chests too, so I'm not too fussed about having a surplus. I feel like I should do something with this terrain at some point. It just looks mad good. It's that sort of terrain you can't help but just stare at. Now, I don't know if you can see it clearly on your screen. I can, but there are a lot of ores on show. I see a lot of patches of iron and a lot of patches of coal. More iron than coal, which is good because we don't have an iron farm. Not that we're struggling for iron. Since starting the world, I've questioned where I've made my base once, and I think this is the second time. Did we make it in the wrong location? I mean, this just looks pretty breathtaking. Yeah, at some point, I'm going to have to do something with these mountains. It's going to have to be a mandatory obligation. Also, despite having copious amounts of food at home, I cannot help but kill animals when I see them. Come here, you. Oh, and you think I'd spare the horses? They give me leather. Okay, last time I mentioned in the terrain, but 100% at some point we are going to have to do something with it. It just looks crazy good. Ow. Not to mention they're home to emerald ore blocks that are quite common for the area, and I'm partial to collecting. Now, I will say it's not all fun and games in the mountain. It's home to this block, powdered snow block, the worst block of the game, I think, one of them. Man, I hate it so much. Okay, so according to my calculations, the stronghold should be just below this block here. There we go. Ender pearl down there. So all I really need to do is incorporate the good old dig down strategy, although I don't have any torches with me. So it might get dark pretty quick. Why did I not bring torches? Ah, look, my eyes of ender. In fact, I've taken my coordinates, so I'm just going to tower up here and I am going to head home. It's going to be a pain travelling all the way back just to get torches, but I know if I continue, it's going to be even more of a pain exploring the stronghold without them. I've got to say the run back didn't feel nearly as long as the run out there did. Now I've just got to find an empty chest. Hey, here's one. To put the stuff we collected in. Oh, not the eyes of ender. I still need them. And of course what we came here for. Some tasty torches. Now we run back. The rerun back, if that's what we're calling this, was a bit longer. I kept getting distracted, and I'll be honest, seeing all these ores on show, it's hard to not continue to be distracted. But with the distractions out of the way, all that was left to do was to head down into the earth and hope that we come across a stronghold. I mean, we should do. Our eyes of ender told us we should do. So if we don't, I'll be questioning why not. And this right here is a successful touchdown. Now let's find the portal room. Alright, a little trick I like to do in the stronghold is put on captions. And I've got to a point where it's coming up with lava pops and silverfish were hissing a minute ago, so I know somewhere in this area is the stronghold portal room. Now I've tried down here and I haven't found anything, and from the looks of things the lava is popping. Look, there's silverfish. So is it this way? Oh, it's getting louder. This way. Oh, what's this way? Oh, just a cave, but maybe... Ooh. I can hear the silverfish. It's so close. I know they're around here somewhere. Is this it? This is it. Break them. Found it. Now I'm going to block off the entrance to stop mobs from coming in. I'm going to fill in all of the lava sources because knowing me, I'm going to fall into it. Not that it actually matters. We can survive lava. I'll give you a little showcase actually. Oh yeah, lovely bath this. Yeah, it's lovely. Doesn't even hurt. I am OP. The frame already has an eye in, so only 11 is needed. Here's the moment. Oh. Now, as much as I'd like to go in now, I've got a slight bit of prep work to do. Now, inside my ender chest, I always bring with me some obsidian to make a portal and a way of lighting the portal. So if we craft the portal, I know it's going to be hurting some people seeing how large it is when I could make it smaller than this, but it fits the room. Now we have a portal set up, we can head into the nether, and from here we're going to find our way back to our base portal. Now I did bring with me a book and quill, and this is a very special book and quill because inside are some important coordinates, our base coordinates and our nether portal. I should say that's our base nether portal, and these are the coordinates inside the nether, so -11, 57, -15. Reason being I'm doing this and not going straight into the end is because, well, one, I might need to go back to the end in the future and I want to make sure I've got at least a makeshift road connecting our portal back at our base and the stronghold, and two, because like I said in the portal room there is some prep I still need to do. Well, my current trajectory has intersected another path I can only believe was from my former self when searching for a bastion. And I believe if we go this way we will eventually get to our portal. Actually I think it's this way. I went the wrong direction. Yep, I definitely recognise this is the right way, and in fact the portal is just coming into view. Here we are, home sweet home. I want to make sure our ender chest is prepared for the end, which at the moment, although I could get by in the end for sure, it's not. I'm going to need to clear a lot of this out because although a lot of it I do want to keep inside my ender chest, most of it is unnecessary. Now for the amount of time I'm probably going to be in there, I doubt I'm going to need backup tools so they can sit this out. I'm not going to need the smithing template because we already have netherite tools. I've got torches, but honestly I don't think I'm going to need them either. Fire res potion I am going to keep on me because we will be heading back through the nether and you never know what sort of surprises may happen. We're not going to need obsidian, we won't need flint and steel. I'm going to have some ender pearls because they're pretty useful. A crafting table is always nice. Chests are nice to have. The book and quill because it's my coordinates book. Our bow and arrow, I imagine we're going to need these for dealing with shulkers and the dragon itself. Eyes of Ender. No, I don't think I am going to need Eyes of Ender, am I? The bed I'm going to put inside the stronghold portal room, so in case we die we're going to respawn next to the portal so we can head straight back into the end. The plan is to not only beat the ender dragon but to get an elytra as well, so in preparation, I don't know where the books have gone, but I'm going to buy myself a mending book and an unbreaking 3 book. Where did I put them? Oh, here's one. So here's a mending for an elytra. I believe unbreaking's over here somewhere, isn't it? There we go. An unbreaking 3. That means bringing along an anvil so we can put the books onto the elytra, and for propelling us through the sky once we have said elytra we need some rockets, and for that we need paper, which we have in my inventory from our sugarcane farm, and some gunpowder. Where did I leave the gunpowder? Here there is. I'm bringing 3 stacks of each. It's also really handy to have some wood on us, a bucket of water for dealing with endermen, some extra food so we don't starve to death, and a few more chests than the 8 we already have inside the ender chest, so that when we get shulker shells we can make some shulker boxes straight away and store some of the loot and items we get whilst in the end, because my inventory is going to fill up fast. And I think finally some trapdoors are going to be helpful for when going through the end gates, and while I'm probably missing 1 or 2 things that I can't think of at the moment, that looks pretty good to me. This is our ender chest. I found my way back to the stronghold portal, and as too did other entities, and I'm now going to place my bed, which I always place on the left hand side of the stronghold room. I don't know why, I never place it over here, I never place it in this bit. I always want to place it on this little, well, I suppose, like plinth thing where the lava was contained before. I always put it here. Just habit, I guess. Respawn point set. Now there's not really anything else I need to do apart from head in. Well, this is probably one of the worst spawns. I need blocks to get across. Well, fortunately for me, I have 3 on me. You think I can make that jump? It's not really that big of a deal. I did bring my ender chest, and inside are some spruce logs I can convert into planks. If I hadn't have brought any blocks with me, this would be a different matter. And it's also the reason why I always bring blocks and why you always should as well. Now where's that dragon? I don't actually know where he is. Ah, there he is. Right, time to get to work. That's that distraction out of the way. Now I hit the dragon egg. It goes... where's it go? There it is. Over here. Pick the torch. I'm on the side of the pillar. Do the old dig under, place the torch trick. And then the egg should break. And that's us. Goal reached, next generation. We have the dragon egg. I'm going to put that in my ender chest. Now we look for the end gateway, and this bright light over here seems to signify that. What? To the beam up into the sky. Now I'm going to staircase up to the end gate. I'm hoping this works. Usually I use an ender pearl, but I saw someone else do the old trapdoor trick. I mean, it's a close call, but I think I prefer that more. Before I do anything else, I'm going to make sure I put down the coordinates for the end gate, just so we know the location of an escape route when we need it. Alright, first scan of the area, and I don't see a thing. No end cities in sight. And with no direction seeming more appetizing than the others, I'm just going to pick a random direction and begin bridging over the void. Possibly even worse than bridging over lava. Okay, I've only just crossed the void and already a city has come into view, and I don't know if you could consider this good luck or bad luck, because while it's good luck that we found a city, it seems to be bad luck that, okay, never mind, I was going to say bad luck that there's no boat, but when I zoom in, yeah, you can quite clearly see there's a boat. Okay, I rescind my previous line of thinking. Yeah, we've been lucky. First we were lucky in the nether, and now we're lucky in the end. I don't want to question it. And I'm not even going to try and hide it. I'm going straight for the boat. But it seems that the elytra is not the first thing I'm going to get. It's going to be the dragon head. Now let's hopefully get our first shulker. There we go, our first shulker shell. But what are we really here for? Well, okay, a second shulker shell, hopefully. Yep, a second shulker shell. And, more importantly, the elytra. Fantastic. Now before I check what loot we've got, let's just put down our ender chest, open it up, got the anvil, our 2 books. There goes the anvil, there comes the elytra. Let's put mending on. Enchanting costs 2, and now let's put breaking on. Enchantment costs 3. Let's put that on instead of chest plate, although I will keep the chest plate for when things get a bit dicey. I mean, obviously I'm going to keep the chest plate, but I'll keep it inside my inventory is what I mean. Now let's take out a stack of paper and a stack of gunpowder. Use them to create, I think, 3 stacks. Yep, 3 stacks of rockets. We don't need all 3 of them inside our inventory. We'll put 2 back into the ender chest. We'll also take out a chest and our crafting table. The crafting table will go down. We'll make a shulker box. Place that down. It blends in quite nicely with the other blocks, and we'll take everything from these chests and store them alongside some other items inside the shulker box, which I'm going to put inside my ender chest too. Pick up the anvil, put that back in, pick up the crafting table, put that back in, and while I know there's another shulker box on this boat, I'm just really excited to check out the flying. Oh yeah. Oh, oh, there's another. Wow. There's another city. Okay, the insane luck continues. And man, this feels so good. It feels so amazing to have the sky's the limit. And here we go. I guess we're getting our second elytra in the space of like 2 or 3 minutes. Yes. With some better loot in this one. Fortune 3 and mending for the diamond shovel, and Unbreaking 3 and mending as well on the chest plate. It's pretty cool. This is what I'm going to be doing for the next 2 or 3 hours. Scouring the end for more cities to get a load of shulker boxes and maybe even some more backup elytras. I mean, we've got 2 now. Don't need to be greedy. I don't often let them break. It's really the shulkers I'm after. And obviously, the more we get of them, the better. All right. Let's go. Okay, so I'm back from my end busting trip and I'm going to show you the loot. So we've got 6 shulker boxes already crafted up, a load more shells. I crafted these 6 shulker boxes up specifically to carry the rest of the loot I was finding, which we'll get to in a sec. I found a couple of spire armor trims and I'm fairly sure, like the smithing template, we can duplicate them. So we've effectively got an endless supply as long as I don't use up the last one. We got 36 diamonds, coming up for a couple of stacks of iron ingots, coming up for a couple of stacks of gold ingots, a few emeralds. This one's trivial. 3 saddles, copper horse armor, a couple of iron horse armor, a couple of gold horse armor, and a couple of diamond horse armor. I didn't go to any of the end cities to pick up any of the blocks. These are just ones I picked up naturally, although I will say with the end rods I did make a little bit more of a conscious effort to gather some. 6 ender pearls I just picked up from endermen we killed, 5 item frames. I didn't start picking up the item frames until a elytra or 2 in. The dragon egg obviously, 8 dragon heads, 8 ender chests, all of this iron armor and all of these iron tools, which is interesting. We don't find any iron axes. Now some of this gear is pretty good. We won't be using any of it because obviously we've got netherite now, but it's still a good find. And then in the last one we have a load of diamond tools and diamond armor. And 7 elytras, 7 backup elytras for if we get into a situation where we're doing a lot of traveling and we need to replace the elytra on the fly. That's what these guys will be for. I doubt I'm ever going to have to use this many elytras, but they're nice to have. Some diamond armor, again with some really good enchants on some of them. You got mending, unbreaking 3, protection 4, curse of binding obviously is not that great, but respiration 3, unbreaking, protection 4, mending again. And then down here we also have some more diamond tools. Not as many as we have iron tools, but it's still a fair amount. We have 3 diamond swords, 3 diamond picks, and 6 diamond shovels. All in all, while it's not been the most extensive of end trips, it has been a fairly successful one. Now the great thing about shulker boxes is they kind of revolutionise your storage, because as everyone knows, they can be stored within the ender chest, and if utilised to its fullest extent, you can carry obviously 27 shulker boxes within the ender chest, and then obviously you can pick up your ender chest and then have your ender chest within your inventory, effectively carrying around 27 lots of other inventory, but at the cost of only 1 inventory slot. So I'm going to remove every item we have within the ender chest currently and disperse them among the chests we have laid out for the end loot. And if I've done my maths correct, we should only need 21 more shulkers. Those shulkers fitting snugly within the ender chest. That is a really nice sight to behold. And after having organised my ender chest many times over the years, I kind of have an idea of what I want each shulker box to be dedicated to. And the first step of the organisational process is to change the name of all the shulker boxes to reflect what it is I'm going to be storing within that shulker box. It's all good naming them, but at a glance, you're not going to know what shulker box is for what. For instance, we have a shulker box for food and we have a shulker box for rockets, but visually you're not going to be able to tell the difference, which is why we need to go looking for dyes. Before we do, while I'm up here at the mob spawner, someone in the comments said I could use my axe on these little guys to bring them back to life. Hey! And there we are, I've freed them from their misery. Ever since I've built this mob spawner, I'll be completely real with you, I have been waiting to be able to do this. Jump off the side and glide down to our base. Oh, it feels so amazing. And flying overhead like that, oh, it just looks so cool. I feel so cool. And surely in this mess of a storage system, we can find some dyes, or at least flowers that I can turn into dyes. Okay, so after a much longer time than it should have taken me to go through my storage because of how disorganised it is, these are all of the flowers and items I can find that I own that can turn into dye. So for instance, we've got the ink sacs, which will turn into black dye. We've got the bone meal, which can turn into white dye. We've got the lilacs, which will turn into magenta, and the rose bush, which will turn into red. However, I don't want to convert the flowers into dyes just yet because I don't have many of them. But what I do have is a lot of bone blocks, and those bone blocks can become a lot of bone meal. And when you plant flowers, for instance, let me do the old rose bush. If I plant this, bone meal the heck out of... Okay, that's not bone meal in it, that's breaking it. And bone meal the heck out of it. Look at all these rose bushes we have now. Oh, that's just great. So now we have access to a ton of red dye. And so what I'm going to do instead of turning the flowers into dye straight away is to bone meal them, and then from there combine the different dye types to make other dye types that we don't have. Although I'm trying to bone meal this flower and it doesn't seem to be working, so can I not do it for single block flowers? It might be a part of my calculation I haven't thought through, and no, it's not working. Okay, I may have to go back to the drawing board on that. That's changed my plan, not by much, because I was going to have to leave the base to go exploring for cocoa beans and cactus, you know, for brown dye and green dye respectively. Now we're just having to collect a load of flowers too. I've got to say, it's so nice being able to explore having an elytra now. It makes things so much easier. What would take me hours to traverse now takes minutes. And weirdly, I found this one cherry blossom tree up in the mountains. And you can see the cherry blossom flowers as well around it. I mean, in the top left, we are in a cherry grove. This must be the smallest cherry grove biome I've ever seen. So it's cherry grove, we take a step that way, it's snowy slopes, step back, cherry grove, take a step or two this way. Snowy slopes, we take a step or two this way, it's snowy slopes, and take a step, we're back to snowy slopes. It's literally like 2 or 3 blocks. We are probably in the smallest cherry grove I've ever seen, and while I'm here I might as well take the tree. I mean, these things are great for giving up saplings. I mean, already we're up to 8 saplings and we've got a bulk of the leaves still remaining. I found a swamp biome and these have got those cool blue orchid flowers. A lot of people's favourite flowers of the game, which is going to give us light blue dye. There's also a witch heart that if I ever become a properly good enough player to utilise, then maybe I'll make a witch farm. Where the witch is, I don't know, I can't even get into the thing. Oh, here's the witch. Don't know why you're laughing, you're going to die. I shouldn't really be doing this because it's eating up a lot of my time, but every time I fly over some caves, mountains or stony shore biome, I just can't help but pick up any ore blocks that I see. It's like a compulsion I can't control. I mean, look, every time I see it, it's like, oh, my pickaxe just has a mind of its own. There's literally nothing I can do. My hands are physically tied to the keyboard and mouse. Ah. I found a jungle. This is another biome to knock off the list. And what do jungles have? They have cocoa seeds. Or cocoa beans, should I say, and what do cocoa beans make? They make brown dye. And surprisingly, this jungle is only held up by a few blocks because underneath is probably, I think, in the top 10 coolest caves I've ever seen within a Minecraft game. I mean, this place just looks amazing. Look at it. Look at these spires coming from the ground up. Has anyone seen a cave like this before? Probably 100 of you or 1,000 of you have probably guessed you have, but man, this looks amazing. Look at this place. Wow. I mean, this is Mines of Moria sort of vibes. I really like this place. Really, really cool. I almost feel like I'm gonna have to come back here at some point or make a cave like this, but a custom cave. What I'm trying to say is I really appreciate this cave. And you know what? On the other side of this jungle is the last biome I needed, a desert. Because of course this is where we can get cactus, and cactus, when smelted, I believe it's when you smelt it, produces green dye. Just what we want. Okay, I've returned from a little excursion out of the base, and we've picked up a fair few more flowers, including some cocoa beans which aren't flowers, some cactus that aren't flowers, and some cactus flowers that are flowers. And from all of these, I'm fairly certain we can get all of the dyes necessary for all of the shulker boxes we have in our ender chest. Also along the way, I did pick up a fair few more stacks of coal ore, some more stacks of copper, 24 iron ore, and 10 emerald ore, which pleases my inner collector, as well as 3 bees nests we're going to need, which I didn't realise they weren't all full. We have 1 out of 3, 2 out of 3, and 3 out of 3 bees. And a new wood type in the form of cherry logs, which we can get an infinite supply of now that we have cherry saplings. And obviously I killed some animals while I was out there because I'm inhuman. What do you want me to say? So while I combine the flowers to make lots of different dyes, I'm just going to put the cactus into cook. I'm going to keep the 6 here so we can make a farm. I need to find an empty space for them. Okay, not there, not there, not there. Here's some space. Put them in there so we can make a cactus farm and get an infinite amount of them. And there we have it, green dye. So that's the green dye sorted. Now let's convert a load more ink sacs and other flowers to other dyes. I'm also going to hold back a couple of cocoa beans in case I want to make a cocoa bean farm too. Now I'm just going to combine a load of these dyes that we already have into new dyes that we don't have. Alright, I'm fairly certain that these are all of the dyes we can get. I've got 16 variants here. I'm fairly certain that is how many there are. Now all I need to do is use the dyes to colour our shulker boxes. Okay, here it is in all its glory, and to many of you it's going to look like an abomination because I know you'll probably organise your ender chests completely different. I know ender chests are very personable to everyone, so everyone kind of organises them slightly differently, but I'm going to talk you through how I do mine, and we're going to do that by going through them one by one. So we've got a portals shulker, which is basically all things nether portal related, or ender portals, so I'll probably store things like eyes of ender, obsidian, flint and steel, things like of that nature. Smelting, again, furnaces, blast furnaces, sources of fuel. We've got a pickaxes box for all of our backup pickaxes. We've got a shovels box for all of our backup shovels. We've got an axes shulker box for all of our backup axes. We've got other tools and gear. This is going to be things for other pieces of armor, shears, hose, buckets, leads, bows, swords, anything else that isn't going to fit in the pickaxes, shovels or axes category. Bone meal, self-explanatory. Lighting, all light source blocks and torches. Food shulker box, a redstone shulker box. Miscellaneous, we've got our coordinates book and quill in here, but I might also store things like crafting tables, respawn anchors, compasses, lodestones, beds, anvils, things of that nature. Potions box, and then all of these magenta shulker boxes are all storage. I used to have other categories like TNT, glass, ice, more specific categories, but I found that actually just having a ton of storage boxes covered that, because TNT, ice, glass, things of that nature that while I didn't use them often enough to justify them having their own position within the ender chest, and I figured 8 shulker boxes of storage cover that. A rocket shulker box, with now having a elytra, we're going to be burning through a lot of the things. An iron shulker box, a beacon shulker box, which I will include storing ancient debris in, because technically ancient debris can become netherite, and netherite can become netherite blocks, and you can obviously make beacons out of netherite blocks. Not that I ever think we're going to be able to do that, but who knows. A blocks shulker box, which is more for temporary building, so I might use things like netherrack, dirt, cobblestone or stone if I have a ton of the stuff, which I do. Things that I might just want to build out of and not care if I lose. Ender pearls, which we don't have many of at the moment, but once we make an ender farm, we're going to utilize these a lot more. A wood shulker box, and of course a chest shulker box, because I found that when I didn't have a chest shulker box and I just had a wood shulker box, I was always constantly digging into the wood shulker box to make a load of chests, because we always need more chests, and so I just decided that chests should have their own shulker box. Here they are, all laid out on the floor, which I'm not doing just for aesthetic reasons. No, I'm actually going to go through our storage now and gather all the bits and pieces that we need to categorize within our shulker boxes. So for instance, this one is our chest shulker box, so I'm going to search through all of these chests for any other spare chests, and any we find will be transported over to that shulker box. I don't think I'm going to find any chests within these chests, because most of our chests are already laid out, but if I do, that's where they're going. Or for instance, this one, the iron shulker box, I know I've got a ton. You know what, I'm repeating myself, you know what I'm doing. I'm basically organizing items from over here in the storage over to the shulker boxes over there. It's not rocket science, and I don't know why I'm trying to make it sound like it is, but then it's going to be something I do off camera. I think it's kind of boring for you to have to watch that. And so once again, I think that's going to be it for this episode. Alright, bye.